Today is May 20th. And I'm Derek O'Shea, and this is the Derek O'Shea Show. 35 Republicans vote in favor of the January 6th Commission. Republicans like Liz Cheney. No wonder you were voted away. You should look up those people if you care about this, because as I said before, I did a long video yesterday on the January 6th Commission. You should check that out. It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on BitChute, it's on Rumble. Check it out. But I went into depth of why I think the January 6th Commission is literally the stupidest thing in the whole world. It's just another political ploy of politicians acting like they want you to be outraged and angered and feared and scared, and they want you to vote them in if you believe in that stuff. And it's just politics. They're not actually doing anything. They're just pretending they're doing something. And people that commit crimes are already being arrested. So why do we need this? Oh yeah, because we need to smash these Trump supporters more and more and more and make them scream. That's what they want you to believe. So if you care about politics and you're a Trump supporter, you should look up those 35 Republicans and vote them out. I'm tired of Republicans with zero spines. Say what you want about Majority Taylor Greene, about her politics. It's just refreshing to see a Republican be so hated by the media, because I feel like at this point, as a Republican, if you're not hated, you're not doing anything. All right, and that's what I believe, and that's what I'll die believing. Okay, Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu called a security cabinet meeting for tonight at 7 p.m. amidst ceasefire speculations. However, Israel's Netanyahu, a true backer of much of this aggression, he said, is actually Iran, and they provide financial backing and weapons to Hamas and Hezbollah, and they sent an armed drone to Israel from Iraq or Syria, somewhere in that location. I feel like this cabinet meeting might be a little bit more of, hey, our foot is down. Let's finish this fight so these Palestinians can actually be free of these people. The commander of the Quds Force, Quds, in Iran's Revolutionary Guards, Qani, sent a letter to Hamas commander saying, "You have promised victory in Jerusalem and you have fulfilled your vow, making the enraged enemy taste terror, defeat, and humiliation." I'm not sure you've been watching the news, but it looks like one side is clearly losing while the other side tries their best to make footsteps. But as always, you've done great work. I'm so proud of you. Is that Russian? Where did that? Okay, sorry. Oh my God. Okay, so the UFO stories are breaking, and people are just focused on other things. It makes no sense to me. I feel like this should be the story to talk about, but yet we're talking about January 6th Commission because that's the important thing. We need to know. This is what's really bothering us. I'm still having PTSD over the January 6th riots. Yeah, all summer long, burning neighborhoods near me didn't affect me, but the January 6th did. It affected me deep down inside. Okay? It's called fabricated anxiety. Okay, Lou, I'm not going to say that it's not true. Okay, if you have anxiety over it, I'm sorry, go see somebody. Lou Elizondo, former director of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, known as AATIP. AATIP? Just the AATIP. The man at the center of the recent news reports about the U.S. Military sightings of UFOs in restricted airspace, told Fox News host Tucker Carlson last night, "Oh, don't talk about Tucker Carlson, not on this program," told Tucker Carlson that the U.S. government is in possession of exotic materials from UFOs. We don't need to know about that. What about that January 6th Commission? I'm really concerned about that. Not that there's UFOs circling our sacred airspace they're not allowed to be in and doing it on the daily. And he continues saying, there were times where you'd look at a monthly report and there were 25 to 26 incidents occurring in a 30-day time period. Again, if this is another country, it's a huge deal. And if it's an actual UFO, it's equally as huge of a deal. I think we're so programmed to not care about UFOs and just, throw it off like it's myth. Like as soon as you hear something about, like if you were to hear there's a dragon sighting in Sweden, and people would just be like, dragons aren't real. What are you talking about? There's been unicorns in Russia. It's been reported, and we have identified, and people are like, unicorns aren't real. I mean, we've been told all this. So we have this in the back of our head that UFOs aren't real. And if anybody says they are real, those people are crazy. They're just a globalist talking about it. So UFOs are here, and we're finding out more. Even Obama said there's UFOs. I mean, what? Okay, exactly. We don't need to talk about that. It's not a big deal. It's just UFOs. They might have more power than us. They might destroy us all one day. It's not a big deal. It's probably just God. Dr. Fauci defends right to not get vaccinated after Chris Cuomo demands to know why federal government hasn't made vaccine passports mandatory. Dr. Fauci defends not getting vaccinated? Good Fauci. Bad Fauci. Good Fauci. Chris Cuomo. And he's so hysterical. Of course he wants vaccine passports. If I get in an elevator with somebody, how do I know if I trust them? And if I go to the supermarket and people aren't wearing masks, I could get COVID and that's why you get the vaccine. You're protected, right? Yeah, but it just makes the argument to, if you're vaccinated and you're in a room full of unvaccinated people, you're supposed to be safe. So if you believe the vaccines actually work, which I assume you do because you want people to have vaccine passports, ergo everyone to have a vaccine, then why wouldn't you be okay being in a room full of people unvaccinated? I get that there's like some emotional anxiety, but factually, if you believe the vaccines work, it shouldn't matter. It's just hysteria and people losing their minds, and it just shows you the anxiety level that people are at these days, and no one puts that into factors that in to anything like this. That they just assume, oh, they're talking about science and talking about politics, and it's, I want to keep my mask on because I don't want people to think I'm a Republican. Blah, 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 blah. Oh gosh, our country is. Maybe it's not our country. Maybe it's just like a small few, which I always believe, a small few loud voices who are just losing their mind, and people and news stories latch on to those stories because it's an actual story they can talk about because it creates some outrage and some, some anxiety in your heart, and it keeps you listening to their program. I don't know. I do know a couple people, I will say this, I know a couple people who are very fearful about being in a room with unvaccinated people who are in fact vaccinated, and I've asked them why, and they're just like, because I just don't want to catch COVID, and I would say, well, isn't that why you got the vaccine? And they would say, yes, and it would just kind of end, and they would just say, well, it's just stupid, they should get the vaccine. Like, okay, it's just stupid. J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel invest in a free speech YouTube alternative known as Rumble. So Rumble is getting some rumblings. I'm on Rumble, and it's an okay platform. I'm not a huge... I think YouTube is far superior. It's like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, far superior platforms. I love all these conservative platforms that are coming out. They're just like, we're going to do free speech, but it's just not as clean. It doesn't... I'm not bought into it yet. It took me a while and just getting another social media platform. It's like, oh God. I like the idea of Rumble. The website's ugly. The videos don't look as good as YouTube, but I like that they're pushing back a little bit, I guess, because maybe it'll take somebody big will get on. I saw Steven Crowder just got on Rumble, and we'll see how that goes. But it's just hard because there's so much traffic in YouTube, and Google's behind it. So what do you expect? The Google's like, yeah, sure, go to Rumble. I don't care. Well, you'll be back to YouTube, I promise. Report coming in that the Biden administration is quietly flying migrant children into Tennessee as GOP leaders blast the administration. I love that, blast. Yeah, so they're flying migrant children out of the border and putting them in different states. And I've seen reports in Florida, I've seen reports in Arkansas, Tennessee. So it's coming to a village, a town near you. That's one way to pretend like the border crisis isn't a crisis. Hey, I just came down there. There's only like 20 kids there. What are you talking about? Yeah, because they've all been shipped around the country. I mean, what do you... It's the most obvious ploy, and the media is not picking up on the story. Why? Because it makes Biden look bad. It makes Kamala especially look bad, who's the border czar. Who still hasn't visited a border, but, you know, she's happy to have Zoom calls with the triangle. The northern triangle. We'll try to figure out, why are these people leaving? I just can't figure it out. I can't put a button on it. And I heard in the video yesterday, she was talking about corruption in the government, which applause to her, yes. But also, maybe because America's so awesome. God. Things Democrats don't want to say. Hey, don't talk about how great America is. You're talking about a bunch of white people then. Blah, 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 blah. Utah legislation passes bill that would ban face mask requirements for public schools and universities. I think that's so dumb. Children running around with face masks while adults aren't. Just like, okay. I'm more vulnerable than an 8-year-old child getting and dying. So, just statistically, hey, don't say that. That's misinformation. No, it's actually not. But, you know, you can call it whatever you want. Prince Harry is set to drop more truth bombs in his Apple TV mental health series with Oprah Winfrey tomorrow. Prince Harry is about to drop more truth bombs. Who cares? Seriously, why is this in the news? Why is this everywhere? Because people, is he going to say, I don't think that America should have its First Amendment of freedom of speech. It's absolutely preposterous. I cannot see myself ever saying those words. But I will accuse my family of racism in public and have no information to back it up. Maybe that's what his truth bombs are tonight. He's going to finally come out and say, actually, I was lying about the racism. I was just mad because my brother took my favorite car as a child, and he has never apologized. Who cares about the royal family? Honestly, who cares? Especially if you move to America, you go walk away. You're just a person with lots of money, and you're talking about how, how woke you are and, how privileged you are. And I look at him and go, yeah, you are privileged. You're the you are privileged. I agree with you. But to say I'm the same privilege as you is so dumb. Look at your lifestyle and the jobs you've had. You don't work. You just get offers by companies to do little things and get stuff on your resumes. Just so stupid. Speaking of stupid, Manhattan's Union Square station has second a knife attack in 2 days as New York subway system sees 17 assaults in 2 weeks. New York is back to New York. And even Giuliani's son is like, hey, do you need a Giuliani to fix this bad boy? Because I can bring back stop and frisk, baby. New York. I think there was a time where New York was supposed to be very nice. I've never actually been there. And people are now like, you gotta go. You just gotta go. I don't think I want to right now. I'm just gonna be honest. I lived in Chicago. That was enough for me. Elon Musk makes another Doge Twitter post as Doge jumps today. Also yesterday, put out a post about being diamond hands and crypto all popped today. Market manipulation? Did they all buy back in yesterday? Because I did. So I was like, oh, cool. A good pop. I saw it dip yesterday, and I was like, wow, we're down like 15% or 23% in the last week. It's bound to go up some. Great. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. As always, I'm not a I'm not a professional. But how is this not market manipulation? I know But at the same time, I get it. I saw the Dave Portnoy talking on Fox Business, talking about how CEOs and executives come on and say, here's my top 5 stocks to buy and stuff like that. That is market manipulation. That's the same thing as what he's doing. It just makes me more mad because cryptocurrency is so much more volatile than like an Apple stock or a Dell stock or, these mega stocks. And so anytime Elon tweets about something, it just pops like a mofo. He's just like, gosh, I should have known he was going to tweet. Do you think he's telling his friends before he tweets? I don't know. I don't know if I trust Elon. He's such a robot. You can't trust AIs, guys. Michigan Governor Whitmer, who is totally a peach and did a fantastic job during COVID, killing all those old people like Andrew Cuomo. Her and Andrew Cuomo should share a shell together. She's getting in trouble right now for her little personal trip to Florida and is now threatening the one-time political future star. I love when the Democrats throw their weight behind a candidate and they turn out to be crap. It's like Cuomo. I remember all the Cuomo sexuals. He could run for president. He's doing such a great job. He's very presidential when he talks. He talks like this, and he has like those nipple rings or whatever. But he's doing a great job. And Gretchen or Whitmer doing a great job with her lockdowns. She's very CCP oriented. She loves the lockdown. She loves making you stay inside no matter. She follows the science, a.k.a. other politicians. And, like typical, takes a trip. Ted Cruz at least turned around. You just went for it and you went, yeah, I don't care. Which I almost respect in a strange way. Ted Cruz, you should have just stayed in Cancun and took the heat. I don't care about politicians. I just don't. They're just people, and a lot of them lie. A lot. Like the 35 Republicans who voted for the January commission. Vote those people out if you actually care. I would vote those people out in a heartbeat. I looked it up immediately and went, dang it. I have no power over any of these people. Son of a gun. Jake Paul is following in the footsteps of boxing legends Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Let me say that again. Jake Paul is following in the footsteps of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, real boxers, as he signed a multi-fight deal with Showtime Sports. What the I mean, Jake Paul, you gotta respect game where you see game. And today in history, in 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis received patent for blue jeans. Blue jeans? That'll never work. I'm only wearing pants. and cargo shorts only. I listen to Creed and Nickelback every day. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. As always, thank you guys so much for listening to the Derek O'Shea Show. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it means so much to me that you take time on your day to listen to me talk. I hope I provide you with information. If you ever need sources or anything like that, feel free to email me at thederekosheashow@gmail.com. I'd be happy to respond to you. Also, you can DM me on any platform. Any platform. I don't know where that came from. You can DM me on any platform. So I don't know where that accent came from or what that even is. But it came out. So, hey, you can't do accents because accents are racism. Okay? You can't do that because you're making fun of another culture. Only cultures can make fun of white people, and you should know that. Okay? I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Oh, man. The world is crazy, and we're just living in it, as always. And I appreciate you for taking the time. Be sure to share this on every single platform you know of. Just tell your friends and family about it. It's the only way we'll grow. Say, hey, I found this new creator, and I support him, and I think he's doing great work. And he makes me laugh. And I hope to one day it becomes his sole job so he can provide LOLs and information for me for the rest of my life. And I appreciate you guys so much for doing stuff like that. I just saw a few other people sharing stuff, and they tagged me in the post, which means a lot to me. If you share something, tag me so I see it. I don't always see things when people share because I'm not tagged, and I don't follow every single person, and I don't have time to look everywhere. But when I get tagged, I get an update and I get to see, you shared, cool. And then I can comment, and I think it just brings us closer as people. And have a fantastic day, guys. As always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.